The rain wept against the window panes, mirroring the storm brewing within Shaun. At 21, grief was a new, unwelcome guest, its shadow eclipsing the hopeful light that once shone in his eyes. His father, frail and still, lay tethered to a symphony of beeps and whirs. His mother, Sydney, a pillar of warmth, knelt, her silent prayers a desperate plea against the inevitable. "Can you hear me?" Shaun whispered, his voice thick with a longing that defied reason. His hesitant touch, a desperate attempt to bridge the chasm between life and whatever lay beyond. Then, the piercing flatline, a sound that tore through the dimly lit room, shredding his mother's quiet hope and shattering the fragile remnants of his own. The hurried movements of the doctor and nurse, a futile dance against the stark finality of death. "I'm so sorry." The doctor's gentle words, a cruel echo against the heart-wrenching sob that tore from his mother's throat. Shaun stood frozen, watching the unmoving line on the monitor, the weight of his father's absence crashing down like a physical blow, extinguishing the last flicker of light within him. The world went hollow. Months later, the world was still a blur of boxes and unspoken grief. Their old neighborhood, a tapestry of painful memories, vanished behind him as the moving truck rumbled on. "We'll be all right," his mother's voice, a forced calm masking her own sorrow. "We'll make a new start. This new place, it might be good for us." But her words were hollow, unable to fill the silence that hung heavy between them. Shaun's gaze remained fixed on the framed photograph, his smiling father, forever vibrant, forever lost. Then came the inevitable mention of church. "There's a lovely little church just a few blocks from our new apartment. Maybe you could come with me on Sunday." They have a young adult group, his mother's hope, flickering like a dying ember. But the very word, church, ignited a fresh wave of grief, a burning sense of betrayal. "I don't think so, Mom." "Shaun, your father would have wanted you to." "Please, Mom, don't." The ghost of their past, a silent passenger, had hitched a ride to their new beginning. The new neighborhood offered no solace. Shaun walked its unfamiliar streets, headphones on, a futile attempt to mute the world, to silence the clamor in his head. A sudden collision brought him face to face with Paul and Jerry, two 21-year-old twins, radiating an energy he could only envy. They carried basketballs, their easy smiles a stark contrast to his own drawn face. "Whoa, sorry man. Didn't see you there," Paul chirped. Shaun pulled off his headphones, annoyance a familiar companion. "It's fine. New around here, huh?" Jerry offered. "I'm Jerry, and this is my annoying twin, Paul." "Hey, I'm the charming one," Paul interjected, playfully shoving his brother. "What's your name?" "Shaun." "Welcome to the neighborhood, Shaun. We were just heading to the court." "You play?" "Not really." The words felt heavy, the effort of speaking them almost too much. Then Josh appeared, earnest and carrying a Bible. "Hey guys." "Oh, hello. You must be new here. I saw you moving in yesterday." The casual mention of his move, a reminder of the raw wound he carried. "Yeah, I'm Shaun." "Nice to meet you, Shaun. I'm Josh. We were just talking about the young adult night at church this Friday." "It's a lot of fun." Paul nudged him, a hopeful gleam in his eyes. "Yeah, you should come, Shaun. It's a great way to meet people." But the word church again. It was a trigger, unleashing a fresh torrent of bitterness and confusion. "Church isn't really my thing right now." The coldness in his voice surprised even Shaun. "Oh, sorry to hear that," Jerry said, a hint of genuine sympathy in his tone. "We understand. But if you ever change your mind," Josh began. "I gotta go." Shaun turned and walked away, leaving them in his wake, their concern a weight he couldn't bear. His new job at the pizza parlor offered little respite. Behind the counter, surrounded by the mundane rhythm of dough and orders, Shaun felt a deep detachment, a dull ache in his chest. Gabriel, calm and observant, expertly tossed pizza dough, while Michael, his smile warm and inviting, took orders. Shaun fumbled, dropping a stack of pizza boxes. "Rough day." Gabriel's voice was even, his eyes not even leaving the airborne dough. "You have no idea," Shaun muttered, the words barely audible. Gabriel paused, turning to him, his gaze unexpectedly intense. "Sometimes, unexpected things happen. Things that shake us to our core. But it doesn't mean everything good is gone." His words hung in the air, a strange comfort Shaun couldn't quite grasp. He avoided Gabriel's eyes, his movements clumsy as he resumed his work. Suddenly, the door burst open, and a chilling presence filled the room. Daemon, charismatic but with a cruel glint in his eyes, strode in, followed by his entourage of menace, Mike, Rod, and Ian. They swaggered to a corner booth, their laughter echoing unnervingly. "Hey, pizza boy, get us some pies, and make it snappy." Daemon's voice cut through the air. Shaun glared at them, a flicker of defiance igniting within him. Gabriel and Michael exchanged a worried look, a silent warning passing between them. A prickle of unease snaked its way down Shaun's spine. Later, in the alleyway behind the parlor, Shaun took a break. He stared at the canned soda, his mind racing with worries. Daemon and his gang appeared, their shadows lengthening in the dim light. Well, look what we have here. The gloomy new kid. Daemon's voice was a low purr. Shaun tensed, his guard instantly up. "What do you want?" "Just checking out the new scenery. Heard you moved in recently. Tough break about your old place." Mike's words, laced with false sympathy, made Shaun's blood run cold. Rod and Ian exchanged smirks, their eyes glinting with a malicious amusement. "Stay out of my business." Shaun's fist clenched. "Ooh, feisty. I like that. You know, Shaun, this world isn't kind to the weak. You gotta be strong. Take what you want." Daemon's words were a seductive poison, preying on Shaun's vulnerability. "Yeah, no one's gonna hand you anything," Ian added, his voice a low growl. Daemon placed a hand on Shaun's shoulder, his grip surprisingly firm. "We look out for our own. You seem like you could use some looking out for." The offer, a strange mix of threat and twisted camaraderie, hung in the air. Shaun's phone buzzed, cutting through the tense silence. It was a text from his mother. "Prayer meeting? Seriously? Your old man prayed, didn't he? Where did that get him?" 6 feet under. His words were a cruel hammer blow, shattering the last vestiges of Shaun's fragile composure. Mike, Rod, and Ian laughed, their mirth a painful assault. Shaun pulled his phone away, his face a mixture of anger and confusion. Daemon continued, his voice a cynical whisper. "Church, God, it's all a fairy tale for losers who can't handle the real world. There's only one thing that matters, Shaun. Power. And money. That's the only real salvation." He winked, a chilling glint in his eyes. "Think about it. You stick with us, you'll learn how the world really works. You won't be some sad sack moping around anymore." They melted back into the shadows, leaving Shaun to stare at his phone, his mother's hopeful message a stark, unsettling contrast to Daemon's poisonous words. A seed of doubt, dark and insidious, began to take root. Back inside, Gabriel was wiping down the counter. Why do you look at Daemon like that? Like he's some kind of monster?" The question, a raw whisper of Shaun's growing confusion, hung in the air. Gabriel stopped cleaning, his gaze, intense and unwavering, met Shaun's. "Because, Shaun, some people aren't what they seem. There are forces at play in this world that you can't even imagine. Daemon, he's connected to things you're better off staying away from." "What are you talking about?" "He's just a bit rough around the edges." Shaun's voice was defensive, clinging to the familiar, the mundane. "Rough? Shaun, he's bad news. Trust us on this." Michael's voice, usually cheerful, was now tinged with serious concern as he joined them. "Why are you guys so worried about me? You barely know me. We see things, Shaun. Things you don't." There's a darkness around Daemon, a hunger. Gabriel's words sent a shiver down Shaun's spine. "Darkness? You guys are being dramatic." Shaun scoffed, but the conviction in his voice was fading. Suddenly, Daemon and his gang reappeared at the entrance, his eyes locking onto Shaun's. "Come on, new friend. We're going for a ride." "You coming?" Shaun hesitated, caught between their conflicting gazes. "Shaun, don't go with him," Gabriel urged, his voice firm. "It's my choice," Shaun shot back, a flicker of defiance or perhaps desperation in his tone. He started to walk towards Daemon. "Daemon, leave him alone. He's been through a lot." Gabriel stepped forward, blocking Daemon's path. Daemon stopped, a dangerous smile spreading across his face. "And who are you to tell me what to do, angel boy?" The words were laced with a venomous sweetness. Gabriel's voice was firm, unwavering. Someone who knows what you are. Daemon's smile vanished, his eyes narrowing, revealing a flicker of something ancient and malevolent. You think you know me? You have no idea. We know enough, Daemon. You have no power here. Michael's voice resonated with an unexpected authority, a power Shaun hadn't heard before. Oh, but I do. Daemon laughed darkly. And Shaun here, he's starting to see that. Isn't that right, Shaun? All eyes turned to Shaun, and he felt the weight of their gazes, caught in the suffocating space between two warring forces. What's going on? What are you talking about? Shaun's voice was barely a whisper, trembling with a fear he couldn't name. He's trying to manipulate you, Shaun. He preys on the vulnerable. Don't let him. Gabriel's words were a desperate plea. Keep your holy mouth shut. This is between me and our new friend. Daemon snarled, his mask slipping further. Why are you interfering? It's my life, Shaun challenged Gabriel, a surge of anger masking his fear. Because your life is worth more than this darkness, Shaun. Shaun caught Gabriel's eye across the room. He was watching him, a look of deep concern etched on his face. The awareness of his gaze, coupled with Daemon's text, made Shaun feel transparent, exposed. Sorry, guys, he said, forcing a smile that felt alien on his lips. I have plans. Inside the kitchen, the scent of dough and melting cheese did little to calm Shaun's racing heart. Gabriel approached him, his voice a low rumble. Shaun, don't go. Daemon is up to no good. Shaun looked up, exasperation bubbling to the surface. You're making no sense, Gabriel. What are you talking about? Gabriel leaned closer, his eyes unwavering. I know that you're meeting Daemon tonight at the old factory. It's a trap. Don't go. Shaun's eyes widened. How could he possibly know? Fear, cold and sudden, enveloped him. What the? How do you know? A wave of irrational panic washed over him. Stay away from me, freak, he yelled, the words tearing from his throat, and he bolted from the pizza parlor, leaving Gabriel standing alone in the glow of the kitchen lights. The old factory loomed, a hulking silhouette against the moonless sky. A black van, ominous and silent, was parked in the corner. Daemon emerged from the driver's side, a predatory grin on his face. Get in, Shaun, he commanded, his voice a low invitation. Where to? Shaun asked, his voice barely a whisper, confusion warring with a growing sense of dread. You will find out. Daemon's grin widened, a flash of something sinister in his eyes. He held up 2 crisp $100 bills. After this, you will be one of us. He gestured towards the van. Inside, Shaun sat nervously between Ian and Rod, the air thick with unspoken menace. After 30 minutes, the van screeched to a halt behind the security bank. Daemon threw a black mask at Shaun. Wear this, he said, checking his watch. You have 15 minutes to open the safe and take the stash of cash. He tossed a key onto Shaun's lap. Your time starts now. Stunned, Shaun looked at Daemon, then at Ian and Rod, who were smiling, their eyes alight with a cruel amusement. You want me to steal? Daemon clapped his hands, a theatrical gesture. Come on. It's show time, Shaun. Show me what you've got. Shaun's hands trembled as he walked towards the bank, the key heavy in his palm. The back door opened with a soft click. Inside, the bank was eerily silent. He made his way to the safe in the back room, his heart pounding in his chest. As he was about to insert the key, a voice cut through the silence, familiar and urgent. Don't do it, Shaun. Shaun spun around, his blood turning to ice. Gabriel stood there, his face etched with concern. How did you get in here, Gabriel? He didn't answer. Instead, he walked toward Shaun, his gaze unwavering. Shaun, I know that you are just confused. Because your father died, you are rebelling against God. What do you know about how I feel, Gabriel? Shaun roared, the anger he'd been suppressing finally erupting. I trusted God. I begged him to save my father. Did God hear me? No. He killed my dad. God loves you, Shaun, Gabriel said, his voice soft but firm. And your father is in a better place. He never abandoned you. Just then, Daemon burst through the door, his eyes narrowing as he saw Gabriel. He laughed, a harsh, grating sound. Gabriel, my buddy, it's so nice to see you here. Gabriel's face hardened. Stay away from Shaun, Daemon. Or what? Daemon taunted, taking a step closer. You've never learned your lesson. Gabriel countered, his voice gaining a strange authority. You don't know how to pick sides. Shaun trembled, caught between them, a chilling premonition settling over him. Gabriel, please don't interfere with my life. I can handle this. Daemon laughed, his cruel mirth filling the space. An eerie feeling permeated the atmosphere, a tangible shift in the air. What's going on here? Shaun asked, his gaze flicking between them. A deafening clap of thunder reverberated through the bank, followed by a strong murmur of winds that seemed to whip through the very walls. Suddenly, Gabriel's appearance began to change. He was glowing, a radiant light emanating from him, his face and form shimmering with an ethereal brilliance. I command you to leave. Gabriel pointed a finger towards Daemon, his voice resonating with power and authority that seemed to shake the very foundations of the building. Daemon began to cringe, then scream, a sound of pure agony. In a flash, he disappeared into thin air, as if he had never been there at all. The glowing light around Gabriel faded, leaving him looking as he had before, albeit with a faint, knowing smile. Shaun's knees buckled beneath him, and he sank to the floor, tears of regret streaming down his face. Gabriel knelt beside him, his hand resting gently on Shaun's shoulder. I am Gabriel, the messenger of God. God sent me, Shaun, and I have a message for you. He never abandoned you. He loves you, and he cares for you. Shaun was in awe, his tears flowing freely, washing away the bitterness and anger that had consumed him. How Shaun made it home that night was a blur. The following day, a desperate hope propelled him to the pizza parlor, searching for Gabriel. The owner looked at him in confusion. Who's Gabriel? What about Michael? Shaun asked, a knot forming in his stomach. The owner shook his head, a bewildered look on his face. Are you okay, Shaun? There's no Gabriel nor Michael that works here. He walked away, leaving Shaun standing alone. Shaun looked up, a small smile touching his lips, and whispered, Thank you, Lord, for sending your angels to protect me. He walked out of the pizza parlor, pulling out his phone. Mom, are you free today? What about I pick you up? Dinner at your favorite resto? See you in 10. His step was lighter, a genuine smile gracing his face. The world, still a complex place, no longer felt hollow. Even in the deepest despair and confusion, when faith is tested and hope seems lost, divine guidance and protection can appear in unexpected forms, reminding us that we are never truly alone and that love and redemption are always within reach. The path to healing often involves facing our anger and doubt, and recognizing the unseen forces that work for our good.
Youth on the Rock. Jesus is the rock. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel.